Hello and welcome back to the Dungeons & Dragons Podcast UK. My name is Yasmin and I will be the DM.
Hi, my name's Colin and I play Cuin de Greymont, a paladin from Gavany.
Hi, I'm Spencer. I play Caddo Chasseur, a cleric also from Gavany.
Hi, I'm Brian and I play Ogvar Shawfoot, a ranger from Kessig.
Hi, my name is Samantha and I play Elora Greyvale, a sorcerer from Nephalia.
Previously in episode 56. After an ample breakfast, our stalwart adventurers set out to board the boat alongside many other merchants and mercenaries. The quiet and calm of their early bird crossing broken only by the clanking of chains and the slap of surf to the sides of the vessel. Things passed peacefully until the ferry faltered and its passengers spot a worrying disturbance surfacing from the deep, dark depths. Episode 57. The Elemental of Surprise.
I'm going to look back to her and say, I told you I didn't like boats.
Well, that's not helping, is it, really, at this moment in time? There's obviously some problem.
Could be worse. Could be a whirlpool.
And everyone can make me a wisdom check, please.
Straight wisdom.
Just straight wisdom.
Oh dear, that's going to go badly.
16.
I'm on fire today. That'd be a 20 for me.
20.
Nat 20.
No.
Just your wisdom modifier.
Yeah.
5.
5.
Well, Elora's doing quite well because with the minuses, she's actually got a 7.
Okay, anyone below 10,
Yay!
you're able to notice it's just a very slight perception of where the current was dragging the ferry towards the mouth, towards the open ocean, and you've got the chain obviously keeping it in place. You are now, you can feel ever so slightly a pull towards the starboard. You can feel a pull slightly upriver where this vortex is. It's not a massive one, but you can tell that there is no longer, it's almost like the forces are balancing out between vortex and water current.
Would Elora have seen, obviously, where is the chain being pulled? Is it something being pulled along on the ferry itself? The ferry, somebody's winding
Yes.
Okay, I would suggest that more people go forwards and help with pulling on this chain. If this is pulling to one side slightly, then we need more people up front, surely, to help wind. I don't know. How does it work?
Or 2 chains?
It's one chain.
It's a one
very big
chain. So one chain down the port side of the ferry.
No, so it's actually, you can't see the chain.
It's underneath.
It's underneath.
Right.
So where the chain is, you can see, when the ferry came in, the chain actually comes from the bow.
Mm.
So the winding mechanism is below decks, and the chain literally runs through the middle of the ship.
Right. So the chain's under us somewhere.
Yes.
Is it attached to both sides of each
Yeah,
end? And
so-
we're essentially just walking along,
Yes.
running
Yeah.
along it, yeah.
Yeah.
There's someone underneath winding it, moving
Okay.
the ship backwards or forwards.
Well, from the noises we heard earlier, somebody's ratcheting it, by the sound of it.
Well, Elora, that's why Elora mentioned it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering where we go to get to it.
Well, what about Caddo and Cuin? What do they see? Because you said those two saw.
No, so
Anybody
you
over
all
a 10?
see.
Anybody
Okay.
over a 10?
Okay.
Just as Elora looks over at this disturbance in the water, because you said it's a minor disturbance at the moment.
No, it's a vortex.
Okay, can she tell from looking at this whether this would likely, with her seafaring knowledge, is this a freshwater or a seawater inlet?
It's tidal.
Right. Would she be able to tell from this, being used to being travelling on the sea, whether this looks like a natural phenomenon, but is there anything about it that looks off to her?
Okay, roll me a. Do you have knowledge sailing?
Let me just check my sheet. I have knowledge nautical, yes.
Yes. Okay, you can roll me one of those.
Come back with a sea shanty.
Oh, 9. No, it's a 9.
Okay, 9. With a 9, even though you've rolled a 9, you'd probably be able to tell that it's not entirely normal for whirlpools or vortexes to form inland. If they're going to form anywhere, they're going to form deep sea.
Can Alora cast detect magic? How far away is it?
It's off the side, it's off the starboard side of the boat. It's about 10 foot off the side of the starboard boat.
I'm gonna turn
10
to
foot. Okay. She has a range of 60 foot. Can she cast detect magic on the area?
Yes, okay.
Obviously there's a thing first round, second round, third round. First round.
Does that
So it
tell you if
depends.
the creature's making it? Or will it just tell you if it's magical?
No, it's just detect magic, and I can detect a magical aura.
Oh, right, okay.
But the amount of information revealed depends on how long I study a particular area or subject. So how long have I got to study this in? Don't know. Right. Okay, I would like to study this for... have I got 3 minutes to study this in?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. It will give me the strength and location of each aura. If the items or creatures bearing the auras in light of sight. I know it says creatures or items, but at the beginning of the spell it actually says it's a cone-shaped emanation. You detect magical auras.
Okay.
Would it detect that on... It just says strength and location of each aura. If the items or creatures bearing the auras are in line of sight, you can make spellcraft skill checks to determine the school of magic involved in each.
Yeah, okay, so what are you doing? You cast a...
Yeah, I'm going to cast detect magic on it.
Okay, yeah, you sense a magical aura.
Can I tell what type of magic it is?
No.
And I can't detect like what kind of caster level it would be or something like that. But then again, if it's...
No, you can't detect a type of magic. Yeah, there is a magical aura there, but you cannot detect any particular spell being cast.
Okay.
Can I detect evil? See if it's an
That
evil.
there's a magical aura there. There's something magical about that. That is not
Yes.
normal.
Yeah, you can detect evil.
Well, it feels.
Oh no, I mean you can detect evil.
Okay, I'll detect evil.
Okay. Yes, you. No, there is no evil aura.
I can't feel anything evil, so it's probably just natural. Leopold, have you
It's
come
not.
across
It's not.
this
Honestly,
before?
Kieran, that's not natural. I can tell you that's not natural. I've just detected magic, and it's not natural. That doesn't look like a. It looks like a natural phenomena, but where it is, that is not normal.
Is it in our path?
Well, it's off to starboard,
It's
isn't
off to
it?
starboard. It's off to the starboard side of the boat.
But the chain has stopped moving.
The chain has stopped moving, and when the chain stopped moving, it was this awful kind of grinding sound as the boat could no longer progress forwards. It wasn't a case of, you can tell from the sound, it's not a case of someone's stopped turning, it's a case of it can't turn.
And what are the crew doing?
So you can't see any crew. The crew all appear to be below decks.
I suppose I better go and have a look.
As you are talking and detecting magic, detecting evil, you can all notice that the day, although bright, the wind begins to pick up and the sea or the water around you becomes more and more turbulent.
Ogvar, time to blow up your water wings, mate.
I'm not liking this. I'm not liking this.
Well, Alora's saying it's not natural.
No, it's definitely not
No,
natural.
The crew have all disappeared.
If it was natural, we'd all have webbed feet. We shouldn't be on water.
You begin to hear cries coming up from the gathered men, the gathered fighters and mercenaries around the starboard side of the boat, as this vortex explodes upwards with a shower of water. And almost as if the water is being sucked up into the air, a giant form, 32 foot high, takes shape of a vaguely humanoid creature. There is a sound of crashing waves and howling ocean winds as
A thingy comes out.
one,
Oh, good. Good. Fortunately, it can't swim.
as this ginormous creature brings a kind of a watery limb, almost what looks like a watery limb, and it's not like defined like fingers, it's almost like a club shape, as it brings it down, swiping past the side of the boat and splashing into the water, releasing this massive stream of water which flies into the air and washes over the deck. The horses begin screaming, and the drivers of these carriages are then struggling to keep them under control. Everyone can roll initiative.
Oh,
Yay.
crap.
Wrote a note in my diary, simply said bugger.
I used less than that.
Kieran?
5.
5.
That's a 25 from Alora.
Oof. Oh, look at you go. Natural or not? No, not natural.
No.
Okay, Caddo?
3.
19. Well,
15. Right, okay.
Oh, try freezing it.
So, first up in the ground is Alora. And this giant creature, it is massive. It towers over the ferry. It is right on the kind of side, it's where the vortex is, so it's about 10 foot off the side of the boat. And in fact, if you get a bit of drawing going, just to give you some context.
Furiously busily munching on a pastry. No. Okay. Well, this is interesting. That's an absolute no use.
question.
Yes.
I have got something that will make a modification to a touch. The drinker's touch deals such and such. What was that? Would that be a melee attack? Touch.
Yes.
Okay. Where are you? So are you on your wagon? Or
I'm standing on the wagon, so I've got a sort of a higher position that I was looking at things through.
And that's Esther.
Yeah. Okay. So, Elora, you're up first.
The first thing that Alora is going to do is shout
Yep.
and say, "Oh my God! For Avacyn's sake, what is that?" And then the next thing she's going to do is cast Mage Armor on herself.
Okay. So you cast Mage Armor.
I do.
Yep. Is that your turn?
That's my turn.
Okay. Esther is up next. Esther is going to make herself a knowledge nature roll. Knowledge roll. She's going to absolutely fail at with a natural one. Esther is absolutely flabbergasted. I mean, anyone looking at her face, you can see that she's totally bewildered. And she's just stood there slack-jawed going, "Oh, dear Avacyn." Right? Okay. Next up is Ogvar.
right, so Ogvar will move up towards Kewin,
Yep.
and he will. Can I try to assess what it is and give something to Kewin? Is that allowed?
Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, I'll try and decide what it is.
Okay, so make me a knowledge nature roll.
Yeah, knowledge nature, no problem. That is going to be a 12.
Okay, with a 12, you can tell that it is some kind of elemental, and most likely a water one.
Okay. That's all I know about it.
Don't know. I mean, water elementals are not particularly common. You may have heard of a couple in Kessig, but they tend to be quite small. You know they can't stray that far from a body of water. Okay.
Okay, and what I will do is I will pass to Quewin, sorry. I will pass to Quewin my bottle of electric eel elixir.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
I've no idea what it is, but it sounds
Do you
good.
need a description of it for
I will.
anybody?
Well, if you're giving it to him, he'll probably want to know what it is.
Yeah.
Do you want it as the book, or because you'll need to know the facts and figures for this one?
Okay.
Okay. The drinker's skin turns silvery and gains a 1+ natural armor bonus. In addition, the drinker's touch deals 1d8 plus 1 electric damage. Whilst the potion is in effect, the drinker gains a 3+ circumstance bonus to touch attacks if the target is wearing metal armour, and it lasts for 1 hour.
Didn't I write a thing on it? Have you still got the...
No,
No, because I've had it for ages.
That's plus 1 d8, 1 d8 plus 1 electrical.
Yeah,
Electric damage,
plus 1 to your AC.
plus 1 to armour,
Natural, yeah. Lasts for 1 hour,
1 hour.
plus 3 circumstance bonus if they're wearing metal armour.
Is he wearing metal armour?
No.
Real shot in the dark there, wasn't it?
Would have been nice.
So yeah, I think that pretty much used up my go. So,
Okay.
I will say, I think he might be a water elemental, judging by the big fact it is water.
Okay.
I've heard of them, but I've never seen one.
Well, I've seen one. I've never heard of one. What? There it is.
Okay, so next up, this kind of ragtag group of mercenaries, fighters, guards, they all take action at the same time here. And you've got a good portion of them who are just kind of flabbergasted, a couple who are screaming in fear. But a couple of them do attempt to make some kind of move in terms of attacking this creature which has just suddenly sprung out of the water at them. And although they're kind of, any of them who have weapons like swords or axes, which is quite a great proportion of them, they're just too far away. It's too far away from the side of the ferry for them to do anything. The couple that do have crossbows, they attempt to fire, but the bolts just get blown out of the way with this kind of wind rising, and they have no real effect. So next up, this creature once again takes a swing at the boat, and it hits the boat. Quewin and Ogfar, you are you are there. You can both make me reflex saves, please.
Okay.
Okay.
21.
21?
21 also.
Okay, so 2 21s. Okay, so you do manage to dodge out of the way as this giant, like, cudgel of water comes slamming down. Okay. Next up is Quewin.
So we can't reach it with any weapon, and bolts and that lot don't do nothing.
At the moment,
Well, it doesn't look like my sword's going to be any good, or the crossbow. I suppose I might as well. Yes. If I can't reach it, it's the waste of time taking the potion.
Sorry, it does move close, so it moves up towards, like, kind of partly over the edge of the boat.
Okay, so I can attack it.
Electric eel elixir.
Well, I won't use that just yet because I want to get my 1d6 in. So I'm going to attack with my bastard sword.
What's a 1d6?
He's got an extra 1d6.
On my first,
What's a 1d6?
A bit of your own medicine coming back across the table there, I think.
Okay,
Fucking right.
I'm going to use rapid assault
Okay.
as well as my blasted sword.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to attack. That's a 26,
A 26
and
hits.
I've got a second one as well.
Okay.
Well, that's a 21.
That hits as well.
So my first one is a D10 and a 6. That's 13.
13. Okay.
And then the second one. Oh no! 13 plus 2, so that was a 15. And the follow up was a 3.
So that's 17.
That's
18 points of damage.
18 points.
Okay, so you kind of run up to it and take a slash at this kind of its overhanging body, yeah?
Yep.
Yep. You don't really see there's no blood or anything like that, but you do kind of part the water, and you want to see it this kind of freeze gap as you see where your bastard sword has passed through, leaving this kind of slash before this boiling mass of water once again it closes up and disappears.
Okay. Now, to take a potion, that's an action, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll leave it there for the moment.
Okay. So next up is Caddo.
I think I'm going. I'm a long way away. Until I can come up with something clever, I'm fairly impotent. So I'm going to cast Bless for now, so at least make everybody else more useful.
Yeah.
It's almost like inspirationally it came to me as an idea earlier.
Funny.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Funny that.
What does Bless do then?
So I'm going to cast Bless. Bless fills all of my allies with courage. Each ally gains +1 morale bonus on attack rolls and saving throws.
Nice.
Okay. Cool.
50-foot radius, so that should get everybody, shouldn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. There's no limit on. You said no limit on creatures.
No, it just says all allies within the 50-foot burst.
Okay. Cool.
Centred on me.
Right. Okay. So you actually missed most of the NPCs here. But yeah. Cool.
+1 on attack.
And saving throws against fear.
Anything else you're doing or saying or?
No, that'll keep me good for now, I think.
Okay. So top of the round, Elora.
Laura is going to attempt to cast. She's going to pull the wand of hold person
Okay.
from out of a backpack. She has no idea how many charges are on it. All she knows is that she has used 2 of them. She's going to attempt to cast hold person. She's going to flash the wand round straight out in the direction of the elemental with a flick of the wrist and see what happens.
Okay, so you're using a wand. So it gets a will saving throw against that. As you cast it. And it fails its saving throw.
Woo!
And it almost freezes, and you can see that as it freezes, this general mass of water, it almost stops, but you can see the water inside roiling around. And this is kind of like river water, so you can see like detritus, like kind of fish and other kind of aquatic animals and stuff. They're also kind of roiling around inside this massive humanoid shape of water. Okay, so next up is Esther. Esther is going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Esther is going to dash over and she's going to attempt to strike it with her longsword. And she misses on the first. And she misses on the second. So as she dashes over, she almost trips over the back wheel of a carriage, and her swings just go kind of slightly wide, and they miss this body of water. So Ogvar, you're up next.
Okay, Ogvar will move back a little bit between 2 wagons, and he will cast Hunter's Mercy at the elemental.
Okay, so you cast Hunter's Mercy, and where it would usually show up kind of like a red mark indicating the weakest point, your spell, when you cast it, although you feel it take effect, you can't. There is no red mark indicating the weakness of this creature.
Okay. But the spell was successful to a certain extent.
You cast the spell and you've used the spell slot and you've obviously cast it on the creature, but there are no weak spots.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, I'll do my movement there. That's fine. Leave it at that.
Okay. Next up is the NPCs. The NPCs are going to attempt to attack. Yep. Okay. So the NPCs, this kind of like rowdy mob of fighters. It's a right motley crew. When you kind of look at them, you can see they're very rough-looking people, dented, battered armour, and they're all kind of taking hacks and slashes at what they can reach, and they deal 12 points of damage to it as they hack and slash. Okay. So next up we have the water elemental. It's going to attempt to make a saving throw, which we said was DC 17.
Yep.
Okay, so with a 19, you see it begins to move again. You hear the sound of crashing waves once more as it kind of moves around, and you can see its limbs begin to move and it unfreezes. Okay, so next up is Kewin.
Okay, well I'm gonna bottoms up there. I'm gonna take the potion.
Okay, so it's going to take you a action to use the potion. Yep.
That's fine, and then I'm just gonna.
I've had that a long time. I hope it's still in date.
It tastes a bit fishy, but you know, obviously made by some bright spark.
Good. Good, we're liking it.
Okay.
This is no time for humour.
So
This
what-
guy's moving again.
So what are you doing then?
That's,
You haven't moved.
well, I'm gonna
So
take.
you can still attack. You've still got an action free.
Oh, I can attack.
Yeah.
Oh, okay then. So I'm gonna attack. Okay.
Okay.
So that's another +1. So that's two +1s. No, yeah. 1. Okay. That's 10. 12. Okay. That's a 14
A 14. Okay.
on the first, and a 23 on the second.
Okay. Only the second one hits.
Okay, so that's a D10 plus a D8.
So the D8 is only if you're touching it. So if you're hitting it with a sword,
Okay.
it's only if you kind of like lay a hand on, so it's not through your sword.
Okay. Okay then. Well, it's alright then. That's. That's another 12 points of damage.
Okay, so next up we have Caddo.
I'm torn at the moment just to do cheerleading.
Taunt it. Bait it.
Yeah, I'm going to get very busy doing nothing.
Okay.
I'm going to turn and face it.
Yeah.
And take in the situation around me.
Okay.
So that I feel like I've got a full understanding of what's going on. So stood on wagon firing arrows.
So he's between wagons.
Between the wagons firing arrows. Right next to the side of the boat slashing at it.
Yep.
Right next to the side of the boat slashing at
Yep.
it.
We've got a bunch of NPCs kind of near Esther who are doing the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wavy wandy.
Yep.
Okay. Yes. I'm going to get busy doing nothing.
Okay. So top of the round, Alora.
Right. Again, she's still on her elevated position. She's not moving anywhere. She's going to attempt to cast lightning bolt directly
Okay.
at it. Level 3 lightning bolt.
Okay, take it. Roll to hit.
Roll to hit.
Roll to
a little
hit.
bit. Yep. Oh crap!
It's gone well then.
4. No.
Same dice.
That's a 7 all in.
Yeah.
she
Okay,
uses
that's
that
not
dice.
going to hit.
No. No.
Okay, so you're
Go on.
doing anything else?
No, she can't do anything else. There's nothing else to be done, so she's just going to maintain her position. That's it.
Okay, so Esther is up next. Esther is going to attempt to flash at it again. That's going to hit on the first, and that's not going to hit on the second. So her first hit, she does D8 plus 4. She does 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 points of damage. Okay. So, up next is Ogvar.
Okay, so from between the two wagons, Ogvar will reach into his thigh quiver and pull out 2 of his thundering arrows,
Okay.
and will attempt to use rapid shot and fire 2 of those with his first attack.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so
roll
roll
for those
to
who do get. First one is a nat 1.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah.
Roll the second one.
Second one.
Well,
It's 1 better than a nat 1, but that gives me a 12 to hit.
Right. Okay. A 12 isn't going to hit. No. So as you fire off the first one, as you fire it off, the thunderstone which is attached to it actually comes loose and skitters across the deck of the ship. It doesn't activate, but it does skitter across the deck of the ship.
Okay.
And your second one, it's just kind of caught up in like the wind and water currents surrounding this this elemental, and it's just dragged into its body, and you can just kind of see your arrow swirling around.
Right.
somebody pick the tip of that arrow and throw it.
Okay, so next up we have NPCs. NPCs are going to attempt to attack again. They're all there kind of hacking and slashing at whatever they can reach, and it is a bit of a crush around the area. And they don't seem to be making any impactful damage. They are kind of catching certain like bits of it, but there's so many of them trying to crush into one area to attack that a lot of them are just kind of getting weapons tangled up, swords getting crossed. You see some unlucky person who has their axe dragged out of their hand into the vortex, up into the body of this water elemental. And they are just a pure rabble. There is no organisation whatsoever here.
Well done them.
Okay, so next up is the water elemental. Water elemental is going to attempt to smack against the ship once again, and it's got these massive, like, kind of big, chunky, just bolts of water. It's just bringing them down, and that is going to hit with 17 plus 17. Okay, so it hits. It does
Plus 7.
2d10, 5, 6, 7, 8 plus 7, 15 points of damage. So as it brings this massive arm down, you hear the kind of sounds of splintering as part of this the side of the ferry kind of splinters. You see there's like a big kind of chunk missing out of the side of this ferry, and you hear a scream as you see one of these that kind of burly men. You see him actually get caught up in the arm, and almost, if you imagine its arms kind of like a teddy bear arm, there's water swirling in a vortex like that up the arm, and you see him actually get pulled into its arm and actually spin around and then disappear up into the main body, and you can just see him drowning inside its torso.
Nice.
And the NPC, he is dead to this drowning.
That's horrifying. Somebody do something. We need to sort this out.
Okay, so next up is Kimin.
So I'm going to use Smite, one of my Smite Eagles, which has just got to be a melee attack.
Yep.
Okay. 13. Oh,
Yep. 13.
plus another one for.
Yeah, you straight.
Yeah,
so-
13 hits. Yeah.
Okay, so that's for 6 plus. So that's 6 plus 6 is 12 plus 1. So that's 13.
13 points of damage. Okay.
Yeah, electrical damage.
Your lightning bolt from earlier, was that a touch attack?
No. Yes.
Yes. What did you roll?
7.
Okay. Right, you need to make sure you tell me if it's a touch attack because the AC differs and I can't keep on top of
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
it. Okay. Because obviously I just looked at that
Yeah.
and it's
Got it. Yeah. No, I rolled really shit.
Wonderful. Standard then. Right.
That's unfair.
Harsh.
That
But
is
fair.
unfair.
Right, Cade, you're up next.
Can I squeeze a crossbow bolt through the hole?
Yeah, it's really big. It's 32 foot tall, so it's, you know,
So
22
if,
foot
so if
long,
I stand still with rapid reload, which means reloading a completely free action,
Yep.
can I fire in both actions if I don't move?
Not unless you've got a big split BAB.
Yeah, no. So I'm firing once.
Yep, okay.
One crossbow bolt. Oh, that's going to work. So that is 21 all in.
That hits, yeah. Awesome. So roll your damage.
That's going to be one of them. 8 points of damage in total.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, so next up, Alora, you're top of the mound.
Right. Alora is going to go with another lightning bolt.
Oh,
Okay.
Attempt to go again.
1 second.
while it was held,
Yep.
did the boat start moving again?
No.
Right, so it's not some action of the creature that's stopping the boat. Okay.
No, you can still see that there is still the vortex kind of where its body meets the water.
So that's what's stopping the boat,
Yeah, you
not
could
some
assume so.
magical action. Because I assume when it was whole person, anything that it would have been doing to hold the boat would have stopped.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, at least we know then that when we kill it, the boat will start moving again.
Okay, so sorry, Laura. You were casting lightning bolt.
Yeah, I'm going to attempt to cast lightning bolt again.
Okay.
Go on, you've got this.
No shit.
No,
What
What was it?
no.
What was it?
It was a 6 plus 4. That's
Right,
it,
I'm
10.
buying you new dice.
And it's a touch attack.
10. Right.
Okay, no, that doesn't hit. No.
I'm definitely buying you new dice.
So next up we have. Are you doing anything else or
No,
no?
no.
Okay. Next up we have Esther. Esther's going to go for it again. She's not going to hit, and she hits on the second.
No, it's not a touch attack.
3, 5, 6, dealing 7 points of damage. Okay.
Nice, nice.
Next up, Ogvar.
I will go for the first shot. Will be with my last remaining thunder arrow.
Okay.
So I'll roll for that one.
Okay.
16.
Does not hit.
Okay, and so that's a thunder arrow gone. And the next one. 13.
Does not hit.
Okay, so the next two attacks will
Okay.
be that one.
Oh,
17.
okay. None of those hit.
Okay.
So your first two attacks don't hit. You see them, they ping off, but again they're kind of sucked into the main body of this creature without doing any damage. The third shot you fire off, it goes very wobbly, very wide, and it kind of splashes into the water, almost at the bow of the boat. And your third one again is sucked into this torso. So all you can see now is there is like a bunch of miscellaneous weapons, some arrows like floating around inside his body, and there is the corpse of this one guy who is drowned a horrific death inside of it. Okay, so next up is the NPCs. NPCs again, they're an organised rabble. They are not doing any damage at all. They are almost useless. Okay, so the water elemental again, it's going to slam at this. It's taking this out of the boat. You can tell that what it's targeting is actually the boat itself. It's not targeting the people on it, but the people on it are more collateral damage.
It would appear we've upset it somehow.
Yeah. So with 20. Yep. So it hits the boat again with a 20, dealing. Oh, wow. 11 points of damage to the boat. So 6 points of damage to the boat. And some more damage to this kind of crowd of NPCs. You can see it, you hear a couple of them like start spluttering as they're kind of drenched with water. And all while this is going on, the horses are neighing, they're champing and stamping. You can hear the creaking of axles and the creaking of wheels and leather reins as the drivers attempt to keep the horses in check. and you can hear the wash of water as it slops over the deck and then slops back out again. So next up is Cumin.
I'm gonna do smite again, along with the electrical thingy.
Yep.
That one is going to miss. That's a nat one.
Yeah, that's going to miss.
Okay.
Is that with your bastard sword?
No, that's
Oh,
touch
you
attack.
just trying to slap it. Okay. Yeah, you kind of slip in this wash of water over the deck, and you just kind of, instead of touching it, you actually just kind of grab onto the side of the ferry.
Oh dear, that's
Okay. So next up, are you doing anything else, or?
no, that's it. Right myself.
Okay. So, Caddo, your turn.
I'm trying to work out why it's attacking the boat and not the people. I'm guessing it can't be negotiated with. Let's fire a crossbow bolt as it.
Okay. Violence is the answer. Roll to hit.
Uh, 17.
Does not hit. Again, it's like sucked into the main body of water here.
I'm sort of clucking and bell. Okay.
Okay. So top of the round, Laura.
Come on, one of these is going to work. Come on.
She's going to go with lightning bolt
Hang in
again.
there.
Instantly as a retcon, this is not a ranged touch, so I don't get the bonuses on this.
Okay.
I wouldn't have hit it anyway.
No, you wouldn't hit it. Okay.
That would be plus the 1, a 19.
Ooh!
Does not hit.
Ah!
Have I got any other bonuses? Come on. No, I've got nothing.
Right. Okay. No, you release this kind of streak of lightning, and it streaks past it, and it just doesn't make any contact. Okay. So next up we have Esther. You doing anything else, or
I got nothing.
you don't want to swear or curse it, or?
Have you thought of opening a pastry shop?
Sitting down and having a last supper might be a really good
Yeah.
opportunity at this point.
Okay, so Esther's going to attack again. That's going to hit. That's not going to hit, so she hits with the first attack. It's 10 points of damage. Okay, so she's like, she stood there. She's next to Rabble, and she's like, oh, come on, hit it. Get yourselves in order.
Well, I'm trying, Esther.
No, not you and Laura, this lot. Okay, and then it's on to Ogvar.
Ogvar's not having much luck with the bow, so he's going to swap to his silver battle axe.
Okay.
Is that
Yep.
used at my
Yes,
attack?
you're swapping.
Yeah, okay. So I will just swap over to that and stand ready then.
You're going to need to
Okay.
get closer, aren't you?
Not this time. I'm going to move up to it and just stand there like a lemon.
Hit me!
Okay, so
Has it got a rhythm?
this bunch of rabble of NPCs, they are utterly useless. No, again, they're just doing kind of surface damage, nicks. They're not actually doing much of anything. They're just so disorganised. Okay, so next up is the water elemental. Water elemental is going to attempt to smack the ship. It's going to manage it with that. Yep. So dealing 10 points, 17 points of damage. So it does 9 points of damage to the ship, 8 points of damage to the NPCs. So, as you're kind of watching this, it brings the other kind of arm down this time. His arm smashes into the deck, and where it smashes into the kind of main rabble. Esther's going to make a reflex saving throw, which she does with a natural 20.
Oh.
But as his arm kind of smashes into the side, you see it take another chunk out of the side of the ferry, and it passes through these NPCs, and Esther dodges out of the way. but these NPCs are kind of pushed back all over the place, and one of them does get dragged over the side of the ship and you don't know what his fate was, but he disappeared and you can no longer see him. Okay, so next up we have Kieran.
I do apologise, but I have forgotten that I have 2 attacks. So I could have attacked with my bastard sword and touched the bloody thing.
Oh well, done now.
Never mind.
So I'm going to attack with my bastard sword on the first attack.
Yep.
So that's okay. That's a 20.
20 does not hit.
Okay. This is 1 plus 1, so 7, 20. And then I'm going to try to touch it up.
Okay.
Well, hello.
Very nice elemental, I see.
And that is 21.
21 hits.
Yay! At
That's
last.
1d8 plus 1. That's another 6 points of damage.
6 points of damage. Okay. So as you touch it this time, you see almost like this current of electricity almost pulse through. It's kind of, you touch it like the lower torso area, like kind of where the hip would be on a human.
Carry your bags.
And you see this kind of rip of electricity, and a couple of these like fish which are swimming around inside this body of water, you see them kind of flip over and die. But other than that, there's no real, you can't really see much of an effect. But this creature, it does, again, it kind of inhales and you hear this kind of oceanic roar once more. But it does, when you take a close look at it, the water inside this vortex, it does appear to be slowing down ever so slightly as you're dealing this damage. Okay, are you doing anything else? Saying anything? Doing anything?
I'll just take a 5-foot step back.
Okay, so you take 5 steps back. Okay, so Caddo, you're up next.
I'm way past diplomacy.
Yep, got to hit.
22.
Hit!
Uh,
Hey!
Come on, Caddo!
Okay, so roll your damage.
Seven.
7 points of damage. Nice. Okay. So, you doing anything else, or is that it?
That'll do me. I'm going to bask in the splendour of finally hitting the thing.
Okay. Elora, come on.
Right, Elora's throwing an orb of acid lesser. It is a
Okay.
ranged touch attack,
Okay, so touch attack, roll to hit.
and that's a no.
What did you roll?
I rolled an 8 plus 4.
That's 12.
That hits.
What?
Touch.
Touch attack.
Touch
Touchy.
attack.
It
Ah,
Takes all of its own class
it
off.
hits.
hits.
Right.
It hits.
Okay. Every 2 caster levels, 2d8 third, 3d8. Right, 3d8. Anybody got some d8s?
There you go.
At this stage of the day, you can have as many as you like.
One more d8 required.
Here you go.
Oh, thank
I think you
you.
got the blood splattered one.
That's 13 points of damage.
13 points of, wow, nice. Okay. So yeah, you release this kind of orb of acid, and as it hits this vortex water, it's like swelled in. Like, you know if you have a smoothie and you put like, or cake batter and you put food colouring in it?
Yeah.
I look like I have a
Cool.
smoothie.
It's a nice
Cake
smoothie.
batter, right? And you put colour in it as it's going, and it kind of blends it all in. You see it kind of disappear and blend in. It has that kind of effect. So you've got this kind of acidic green as it touches the body. It's absorbed in and it's like kind of diluted. But you can see that again, this vortex slows down considerably.
Right.
Okay, you doing anything else?
No, I'm maintaining my position.
Okay, so awesome. So Esther's up next. Esther's going to hit with a natural 20. She definitely hits.
Oh,
Go on,
And a
Esther.
natural 20 again. She hits again.
Oh, go on, Esther.
wow.
Yep. So she hits. So she's going to roll 2d8. 4 plus 4, 8. 6 plus 4, 10. 18 points of damage
Oh.
she does.
Go, Esther.
Nice.
Okay, and you see that as she kind of swings her sword, again there's these 2 massive slices left in its torso, and from where you hit it with your bastard sword and it left a big cut which then regenerated really quickly, this time it's a lot slower, and you almost see kind of drips of water dripping down from the upper side of this cut before it slowly kind of rebubbles and fixes itself almost. Okay, so Ogvar, you're up next.
Okay, quick question. I'm about to use my hand axe, which I have has been from Kessig as weapon finesse on it. Does that give me a +1 to hit?
Weapon finesse.
It means you can pick either your dexterity or strength modifier,
Yes.
whichever's higher.
That's
Yeah.
what it is. Yeah, I knew this one. Okay, that makes sense then. Okay, yeah.
But you still get the +1 from the bless.
Okay.
And it's a masterwork as well, doesn't it? So
Yeah. Already got that in there.
So that's another +1.
How do you remember this? Right. Okay. First attack.
Yep.
2 again.
Welcome to my world.
No,
That'll be a 12 to hit.
That side of the
That's not
table
gonna hit, no.
today.
Okay, the second one. 18.
18 does not hit.
Okay, righto.
I mean, you do.
You still got that pack of cards?
Yeah.
I mean, you do make contact with it, but it's just there's no kind of damage dealt or anything meaningful. You can see like kind of you slice through the water, like, and you can hear like the riffle of the water as you see like kind of white foam come off of it. But there's no perceptible damage done. Okay, so the NPCs who've been thoroughly useful so far in this fight are going to attempt to attack again. Bloody hell, they hit.
I was about to say, after this fight's over, we'll take on the NPCs. The 3 of us will do them all, I think.
Yeah, they've suddenly all become level 20. Okay, and they do 16 points of damage. So, there we go. So, collectively, they manage to actually kind of stand right themselves, and they begin kind of hacking and slashing. And this time you can see that they are actually doing, again, like with Esther's sword, you can see they're leaving cuts which are taking longer to regenerate. And they do... this water elemental, the rate of the water, if it had been like a blender before, it's now kind of like a lazy propeller, if that makes any sense. It's that kind of this slow kind of spinning vortex. It's no longer like very fast. Okay, so next up is water elemental. The water elemental is going to attempt to smack again. It's going to hit again. And it's going to do 17 points of damage. So again, 9 to the ship and 8 to the NPCs. Esther, Ogvar and Kewin can all make reflex saving throws.
Reflex.
14.
15.
14 and 15. 14 probably won't do it. You'll take 8 points of damage. And Esther also takes 8 points of damage as she's swept off her feet and she bangs her head on the floor. And Kewin, this hand axe which has been floating around in the body of this water elemental, that is flung at your head and you take that in the face.
Yeah, lucky I got that came out of nowhere. Lucky I got the long visor.
Yeah, salt water won't do it any good though.
And Ogvar, you're able to kind of dodge out of the way in
Okay,
time.
cool.
Also, alongside with Esther, one of these other these mercenaries, a female mercenary this time, as this arm comes round and passes over the ship, you can see her. She's left standing there with an arrow buried in her throat.
Ooh.
Which has been from within the water, which has obviously been thrust through her throat as the arms pass through.
Oh, that might be on me, that one.
She stands there and sways slightly before dropping down to the ground, dead.
Esther's dead.
No, it's an NPC.
We're all taking that very casually, she is.
Damn.
Esther's dead.
The vicious vortex soon gave rise to something far, far worse, as an enormous elemental of a most watery nature began its attack. As the ferry full of folk and cargo fell foul to the liquid lashing, the team spring into service in an attempt to save some souls and their transport.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. Having you as a listener means everything to us. So, whichever streaming service you choose to listen to us with, please give us a like, subscribe and follow. We would love for you to join us on our Facebook or Twitter page, where you can catch up with all of our latest news. While you're waiting for the next episode of Secrets of the Silver City, why not pop over to our website, where you can read all of the information about this campaign, from backstories to setting. All of the links are in the bio of this episode. Join us again next week for the next instalment. Thank you for listening.